Thank you, sir. Good evening. Welcome to the October 13th Board of Selectmen's meeting. First order is a call to order and pledge allegiance. Rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So the board is just coming out of a short paperwork review. First up on the agenda is the review and approval of consent items. In this evening's consent folder, we have the AP manifest for September, 9/30 at the amount of $1,766,055. $55.26. October 7th for $71,117.14. October 14th for $43,206.33. We have payroll manifest for October 2nd for $70,936.42. October 9th for $69,834.90. And we have a tax collector reconciliation in the folder. Anybody wish to have anything removed, or otherwise I'll take a motion.
So made.
Motion made by Mr. Leary. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Queenan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0-0. And I forgot to mention at the top of the order, Mr. Gannon will be out this evening. He has a business conflict, I believe, so he will not be present. Next up, request for additional items or any other business for tonight's agenda. Nothing? All right, hearing none, we'll add nothing else. The agenda stands as it is. Our first public input will be at no earlier than 6:45 p.m. There will be an opportunity for a second input at the end, towards the end of the meeting. Moving into our business agenda, approval of the minutes from September 22nd. You had an opportunity to review?
I did, yep.
Kim, you good?
I am good.
Motion to accept?
Second?
I'll make a motion, I guess, to approve the September 22nd, unless you
Give
did.
it to her and I'll second her.
All right, so, motion made by Ms. Queenan, seconded by Mr. Leary. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries 4-0-0. Next up is the 2026 proposed budget. Ms. Kleiner?
Wow.
Kim's everywhere.
I used to do it
Everywhere,
too.
Kim's and Lisa's everywhere.
To my defense, I just said Kim Queenan's name, so it was off the top of my mind.
So looking at the proposed budget, and at the request of the budget committee, they did ask that we look at a few items. So one of the items is that the health, rates did come in, so not sure if you want to start with that.
Can we get this on the board at all? Do you have the ability to put it up there?
This spreadsheet?
Yeah, whatever you got going. Just in case people at home want to see it.
Oh, okay. I can.
Right there. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Special guest appearance by Road Agent Brown.
Is it on? Yeah. Okay.
Value out of my stipend.
Well, Kim's setting that up. If you didn't get an opportunity to watch the budget meeting, obviously one of the tasks was they want the board to come under the cap, right? And I do think it's it's our opportunity to at least get there if we can, right? Without hurting our departments and doing the right thing. So that was one of the goals, I believe. That was one of the goals. The second is somehow to get out of the budget committee to be able to support what we're in dire need of, which is cruisers. So those were two of the high priority items.
So the new health rates came in much lower than what we thought. Our HMO is going up 5.3%. That's the majority of our employees. We have a few employees that prefer the site of service. That is going up 8.1. But again, that's a much smaller group of employees. And then our dental 4.4.
Are those numbers what we thought they'd be, or are they higher? or
No,
lower?
much lower than
Lower
we
than we
thought
thought,
they
okay.
would be, yeah. and that's really good news, for us. So overall, looking at our current census and, calculating out the new rates, it's about $25,800, $65 that we need, our budget is going to increase. That is not counting library, they are looking at theirs, with the Board of Trustees tonight. So, of course, that's one item that now we were, 14,000 over the cap. So now we're like 40, we gotta deal with that. But we did go out and we did get quotes on the market. Contacted a company called Brown and Brown. They're a very high regarded, national group. They quoted us, and the medical, same exact plan with Anthem, no difference, did come in, about $20,000 less, a little over $20,000 less. Their dental was pretty much on the spot with Health Trust, so really not a change there. The problem is with the retirees. So Health Trust has a retiree plan, which keeps it very reasonable for our retirees to have health insurance and prescription. It's a combined plan. Anthem has dropped this plan on the general market. So if we went with the outside insurance firm, we would have to search for a plan, and even they will say probably not comparable in price. It's probably be more for our retirees, of which we have 6.
You know how much more?
Well, the initial quote came in 2/3 higher. Now, they think
Okay.
there could be work to do to get that down, but we do know that the plan that Health Trust has is not available on the open market. Anthem canceled it. So, because these rates are, granted, it's an increase, but Health Trust is a non-assessable plan, right? So they don't charge us back. They have their reserves. It's not like what you're hearing with school care right now, right? Health Trust keeps a lot more sensible, in my opinion, reserves, so that we don't have that sort of situation.
It's brutal.
I think because of that, and because we've had such a good relationship with Health Trust, and because we can take better care of our retirees, that it's worth it to absorb the 25.8 and stay with Health Trust at this point. I mean, if it had been a substantial increase, like 14, 15, and there are some towns that are feeling that, but wasn't us this year, then maybe it would have been a different conversation. But I would hate to hit our retirees with higher costs, especially at this point with everything so volatile in the economy. And but we can continue on. The problem is we have to notify Health Trust by November 1st. So we're dealing with a slow window here if you ask us to go out with Brown and Brown and start really investigating more retirees plans. I mean, we can do it, but I think it's a very tight window.
And how many retirees did you say we have? 6?
6, yeah.
What do the retirees pay in now? I know the school, they pay a certain amount of what would have been their regular premiums, but it's a higher amount than when they
So
were
the
working in the systems.
Right, the retirees pay the full, there's no cost to the town on the
No cost, so-
retirees.
Okay, so
no.
they're paying the full, I think that's.
They are
what's-
paying the full. And so the health trust retiree plan is $474.82 per month
Per month, okay.
for their medical and their dental.
So roughly $6,000.
And
between
that's an
5 and 6
increase,
grand a year.
right, that's an increase, of $65.59 from last year. So they're already getting hit with an increase, just staying with health trust. It like was 3 times this.
It was, yeah, we did the review.
Remember? Yeah, it was, and they said we could go back and work with one of Brown and Brown's specialists and see if we could come up with something, piecing together prescription and medical where this has both combined. I don't think we're gonna get close to this price. I think that's why Anthem took it off the market. But they had a contract with Health Trust, so, I mean, I don't know. Leaving heart, I think. But, I think we're very lucky that we got really good rates from Health Trust.
That was a good surprise.
So really, it's probably the best bang for the buck. And most
mean, the
cost
town
effective
could-
for the town.
Yeah, the town could save 20 and,
And,
Hit
the
really hurt the
retirees,
retirees, or we could,
We also have to get the retirees to agree to, don't we? I remember last time we changed plans, we went through a whole bunch of conversations to get them to say, yeah, they'll change or do something different, or
But it's
are we
not
contractually required to do something? Is there, because I don't understand why we had to, again, we had to wait for everybody's feedback and everything else the last time we made a change.
This is supplemental,
were you
right?
staying with
I remember
Health
just the
Trust?
union, I don't remember.
Yeah, union definitely, but we already sat with a member of the union and, and the plan is for our employees is comparable, same plan, union wouldn't have any reason to come back.
But this is supplemental, right? This is on top of their Medicare, Medicaid?
This is, over 65.
So it's supplemental, though.
Yeah, but we don't want to see our retirees who left a job here after serving all their time all of a sudden pay 3X.
Well, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that this is supplemental. I'm trying to figure out what it is, John.
Oh, from a cost perspective?
Yeah.
I mean, still $500 on, depending on your financial situation, a month is
It's a
substantial.
simple impact, yeah.
1,500 is probably not doable.
They probably
Yeah.
don't get supplemental at that point. They opt out. We don't want them to have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a really large swing between the health trust and the market, if we were gonna get the same HMO for 50 grand less or 60 grand less, then maybe there's a conversation, but I mean, there's nothing to say that you would, and believe me, Brown and Brown has some excellent, benefits to it.
So being supplemental though, is it something that they could get outside of us, that they could maybe get a different rate or a better rate than what we could even offer them? Like Blue Cross Blue
I doubt
Shield,
they'd get better than that.
because I turned 65, so I'm getting all these things in the mail. Come to me, come do this, different companies, so.
Yeah, and,
I just don't know, I mean, ours is how much for them, 400,
yeah, 474.
474?
And so that's one of the points that Brown and Brown was making. There's a retirement specialist that they work with over in Merrimack, and we could go over and have one of our retirees sit with him and kind of figure out prices, but they'd have to do it within the next
3 weeks.
17 days.
I guess I have
Some of them aren't local.
I have a silly question. Why do we offer it then? If we're not required to offer it, I'm not saying we should cut it, I'm just saying, I'm trying to understand.
This is supplemental, this is in
Yeah.
addition to Medicare.
Right.
Which
But-
I used to pay $350, I think, for my mother's a number of years ago. So that doesn't sound like it's gone up tremendously.
Are you questioning if it's a required benefit that we have to pay?
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, I'm assuming we had a contract with when someone retired on a pension, that we will provide a supplement. I just wanna make sure we're doing that, right? I mean,
That's a good question.
Yeah, so, I mean, normally you would, especially where the New Hampshire retirement comes into play. And if it was a benefit that was offered to them at the time they retired, be very careful about not taking it away.
right. And, my point
And
of raising the question was, by raising it to 3x or 5x, you're kind of taking it away,
Yes.
because you're
Yeah.
making it cost prohibitive. That's why I'm saying that, what's our requirement? I think our requirement is to keep it cost effective for them to continue having it as a benefit, is what I think, but,
And I think right now, and I can certainly, if the board's interested, share my slides, because, I sat with a group on this issue, and many people are hearing about what happens if the Affordable Care Act, and with those changes. So I sat with a group from New Hampshire that went through the changes, and it will be substantial. I mean, it really will be substantial, some of these healthcare changes, so I would hate to see us impact them further, but we can do more research on the retiree portion if you want.
it feels like it's the right thing to do is to go forward with what we have, keep things consistent for the retirees, and we have the savings. You know, we're not 15%, which we thought we were gonna be facing, and maybe use the year to continue looking at the marketplace if we can find a better deal overall, versus trying to squeeze it in between now and November 1st. Because I
Right.
don't think you're gonna get, I don't think you're gonna get a retiree to go sit down with a person in the marketplace to figure it, you know, that kind of stuff in that kind of a short window. So,
I mean, I'll tell you, I think that, the insurance company they were wonderful to work with. I think they have some great ideas. I wish we had more time, to work with them, and they have some very good benefits, other services that the town would have available, like Think HR, which is a legal service just around HR. You call and you get a lawyer that is just an HR lawyer, and they will work with you and give you, that's a benefit that they offer all their customers. That could offset some of the legal expenses we have, you know. So there are benefits, but I think having more time to really research them,
Yeah,
would be better off, considering how low.
20
this-
just sounds like a bigger number because of where we sit, because the numbers are just crunching, you know, in every category. So when you say 20, it isn't a lot, it's like, but kind of is like taking us in and out of being in and out of compliance, so, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a bigger number to me, but I understand the reasoning and the fact that it's a good company.
But, and we can continue, because who knows? I mean, health trusts, we can watch how they are projecting and, you know, work with the outside marketplace, because nothing says next year isn't our year for 14, 15. I mean,
That's what
we don't know, right?
that's what I'm saying, let's take the year and really research it, get a plan that makes sense, because we renew every year, it's not like we have a multi-year
Right.
contract anyway.
Right,
So it makes the option, and we go at it more informed. So, like I said, I just think November 1st is a tight window,
Yeah.
and again, I don't wanna see the retirees hurt at all, by any
No.
stretch of the imagination.
no, if
We're
we
all
can
for
order,
it,
if we can
so.
offer them a better supplemental rate than they can get from the marketplace,
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
So that leads us to this conversation, which I'm sorry, I don't think people are gonna have a really hard time.
We
We can almost
Get-
pay the
Yeah,
difference.
get rid of
though.
Gemini, though.
We
would
can,
you?
we can
On the
almost
side
pay
of
the difference.
window.
Where you at?
I
Where
don't
are
know,
you
I'd have to
at,
see the
John?
contract.
On the
Contract.
right-hand
It's
side of your screen,
$20,000, but
On the
we only have
right-hand
6
see where that little
side.
gray block
Yeah.
is? Just get rid of
Talking
that.
about
I'd
500.
have to see
You
the
have to
contract.
make your window
Now I
small
have to go
again.
down again.
We'd have to see the.
That'll help you
yeah,
expand
We'd have
it.
to see
Just
the
click the
contract.
X there.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
There we
Doing
go.
that.
And now go ahead and
It'd be
explode,
like
and that'll be a full page.
$6,000 versus 20.
All right,
All right.
so
I can bring that up, but I think
we
that's-
have some increases
Which one are we on now?
that
We're looking at
we're
the
on,
proposed
we're
cuts.
on this one, and if any board member does wanna look at paper, I did print a few.
Is it in
I'll-
here?
I know.
Oh, is it this one here in the
hard,
portal?
You know
right?
I like paper.
Me too.
Why paper?
The one here? Oh, okay.
You wanna pass that down?
Yeah.
You want paper too?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, since I got it right now.
Accountants, pencils.
That way I'm not
and
going
paper
back and
supply.
forth and getting dizzy and stuff, you know,
That
to
font's
tell you
small.
how old I am now.
Okay,
You're young, stop.
Yeah.
so right now, prior to the
I'm
healthcare,
opening up.
we're about, call it 15, over the cap. We have some additions, right? So we have a IT contract we need to discuss later, that will have an increase. We have the health that we just spoke about. And then, currently in the budget is, an open dispatcher position. And so that will create a change. We believe after those changes, that will add another 47 over the cap. So based upon that, working with the department heads, we went to find cuts that would negate these. And my first conversation was with the fire chief, and the deputy chief. And in the firefighter, budget, on the call line, this year they went from 3 to calculating 4. So what we asked them was, could we go back to 3, cause maybe that 4th position is a full-time on-duty person that's responding, and that comes out of another bucket, right? That's out of another line. And they were comfortable in us doing that, so that would take, that to 56,700. It's gonna save together, with another, I guess I shouldn't have done that.
Total of 27, right?
Yeah, a total of 27. Between that and lowering the protective gear, from 6 sets to 5 sets, which is where that's always been. So, I went over this with them, they are okay with these changes, and those 2 changes to 120 and 682 will result in 27,450.
So we're just moving that money somewhere else?
No.
I thought you said
We will
move it to
reduce it.
another bucket.
The theory was that typically a full-time firefighter is responding in the after hours and overtime because they're local in town, they're available.
Okay.
So they're getting paid and compensated anyway, so the 4th person wouldn't be a call firefighter.
Okay.
It's already in their overtime budget.
Okay.
Kim, the only question I have is, I was looking at the numbers. So they lowered from 6 sets of gear to 5, but they lowered the price too. They quoted the price now as $4,350, and they're judging it based on 4,000. Did they get a new price after they go in with the budget, or is that calculation wrong? 'Cause I would assume it's gonna be,
No, we're saying that the new recommended is 21,750, and 21,750 divided by 5 was.
okay, you gotta change the commentary, that's why. I did the math.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I
Okay.
could have totally thrown you off
Nope,
with the
that's why you threw me off. Yeah,
commentary.
that makes sense now, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so so between those two, the first line saves 23,100, and then the second line, I should have put this differently, shouldn't I? So it was clearer for all of us.
Because you've been looking at too many numbers.
Oh, we've been looking at numbers for
Getting blurry.
crazy. 100. It was 26,1. We're saying go to 21,750. So that's 4350. 27,450 together. So then software, the finance line 342. Unfortunately, we're not. We don't think that we'll get to upgrade the financial software next year. They just have so many companies that they're working with. I know that Heather and Karen are going next week to Meredith for an update,
Workshop,
kind of an
yeah.
overall. But we don't think we'll get in line for next year. So we're reducing that line.
And just to expand on that, so when I spoke to G-Works, the company that bought BMSI, after we signed the agreement, we signed the contract, we were good to go, we were in the line, we're gonna be looking at May, and then they had a leadership change due to some failures of some deployments they had. They're basically reworking everything. They have committed to continue supporting BMSI, our current platform, until the end of the calendar year of 2026. To hopefully get themselves back on track to resolve their issues they had with their deployments, and they would be ready for us in 2027. So it didn't make sense to carry the number, that's why we suggested to remove it.
So what are you gonna do this year?
We're gonna continue running BMSI like we always have.
Okay.
And the reason why we were kind of hesitant, we were kind of saying this is important to do, was because we were being told there was sunsetting.
Right.
But because they had a pivot, and they internally had a pivot, they've actually brought back a person to help support the platform, and they're focusing on
Okay.
kind of getting their new platform ready for the greater volume. So I'd rather not be.
It's a good year
on-
not to have to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we'll figure that out for that come in 2026.
Then the next one is why Mr. Brown is here. So Highway's making a proposal, and I'll just lay the background for it. We all know that rec went out to RFP for the fields. And if you saw the RFP, there was two parts to it. There was the actual field, meaning the fields that they play on, the pesticides, the fertilizing, taking care of the fields. And then there was general mowing, which is 5 other areas.
Yeah, six
6 other areas.
areas.
But not the fields, kind of around the pickleball courts, around,
Things that Jason
Town
Brennan's
hall,
doing right now.
yeah.
right?
If you look at the proposals, proposal 1, proposal 2, so it's basically, the only mowing is John Bryant and around the tennis courts and the pickleball courts. And I'm gonna be honest with you, historically, we've been doing it. I did it last Friday myself. And then the rest is brush mowing around the parking lots and, the buildings, like around town, around Darrah's
No.
parking lot,
No,
around the
what's the
pickleball, down the sawmills,
Right
edges
Spreadsheet.
with the large New Holland. And historically, we've been doing that. So Kim asked me if that's something that we could take over. And it would save, 15,000 off the bid proposal.
Now, when they came in with it, they said they were reducing it.
Well,
Chris said he was
they
reducing
would
it.
like to, but the proposal, the bids came through higher.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Substantially.
substantially higher.
So
So-
if you added this would bring us over $100,000, 114? If we take this on, if the highway department takes this on, which, like I said, historically, we do it, not quite to the timeframe that they're asking, which isn't a problem, it would save $15,000 off that bid quote.
I understood that Jason Brennan has been mowing those areas.
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not. Not that I'm aware of. I mean,
He's not doing sawmill, definitely.
he doesn't do sawmill,
He may
he
have done
doesn't, he
some-
doesn't,
I
he
think he
doesn't
was
do
doing
anything.
the pickleball. Is it possible he was doing pickleball?
I mowed it Friday and it hasn't been done in about a month.
Because when Chris reduced the budget, it was my understanding that it was areas that Jason was going to be mowing and had been
They were
mowing.
looking to have volunteers do it within the, rec commission.
And you know
Possibly
something,
do it.
Okay,
That's what they
it
mentioned.
makes
Okay.
sense, we
Jason
we-
has done it in the past.
We do
Okay.
the bike path, it's off the bike path. I have the New Holland mower for doing the swales. I went down there I went down there because Brian Bork asked me to do the corner of the parking lot. So I went down with the New Holland, I ended up doing all around, I did the swale from the field up north. And then I'm looking at the pickleball and the tennis courts, and the grass was this long. So I went back and I grabbed a mower and I came out and I mowed it.
Okay.
But historically, we would do down to the sign. It just makes sense for us to continue on. I'm not saying the fields, but all the extra outside edges. Why are we paying someone $15,000 when I have, 3 guys mowing? You know what I mean?
I'm not the bright guy, so proposal 2 is what was in the RFP for their second option.
Was-
and
right,
Kev-
so they
And
gave-
Kevin's saying Kevin wants to do all
I'll
those.
handle proposal 2.
Perfect.
So, I mean, ideally, the rec has, 114 in the budget.
Something like that.
And we looked at it, and one proposal came in way over. They didn't split their
Yeah.
proposal. They gave one price for the 1 and 2. So we don't know what they will do for that. The second bidder came in at 99.9 something for the fields and 15,960 for the other areas that Kevin's proposing. So at least we could reduce the budget. It was 111 that the rec had in there, because that's why I'm saying it will reduce it 11.
thank you.
You could take the bidder for the 99.9 for the fields, Kevin does the rest, we can reduce the budget 11,000.
Rec hasn't decided what direction they're gonna go yet. They probably gonna
night,
talk
right?
about it tomorrow night.
I'm on the agenda tomorrow night to
Yeah.
talk to them
So
about
that,
this.
yeah, but we wanted to get the selectmen's approval for Kevin to go offer rec. I
Absolutely.
mean, ideally, it is rec's decision.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I think it makes sense, to mow those areas for $16,000 is a lot. of
It's
money.
crazy, yeah.
Since we have you in the hot seat,
Yeah,
Thanks,
in
Bob.
the future, should anybody call you and ask you to go mow something or anything like that, direct them to her, please. It's
Oh,
not
well,
up,
we-
it's not up to these people to
Well,
call you.
I
first.
asked them to give me a work order
Yep.
whenever that comes through, and she gets a copy
Yep.
of it anytime it comes through.
But I know certain people in this town think that they have the clout, that they can call the department head and get things done. They should not be doing that. It's
Anybody
very,
that
very
can ask of a department head is supposed to go through an internal work order system. That's been in place for over 2 years now. So if they're not using it, they shouldn't be getting service, period.
Yeah. I apologize there. Sometimes I see
No,
things
it's
that
not
are
you.
wrong,
You're trying
and I
to
go and I
please
take
people.
care of them
Yeah.
because,
Yeah. But
know.
it should come to the town and she will tell them to fill out the work order and then she will direct it to the
Right.
proper
Again,
department.
what I'm trying to say is, every department head, Kim has instructed every department head who needs the services from
Yep.
anybody in the town,
Yep.
is to go to this internal work order
Correct.
and request it.
Yep.
It'll go to the department head, and if they have the cycles, they'll commit to it and they'll
Yep.
do it.
But I
Kim's
know,
copied on it all too.
Yep.
So you're not
And
adding
that-
any
That
cost.
request
He's right,
probably
though.
should have gone
Under
through
regular-
rec first, because
Yeah,
they're,
'cause if you look
that's
at
their
the quote,
facilities.
Yeah, Rex would make
other
it,
than
Yeah,
John
so then
Bryant
he can contact Kim and Kim
and
can,
the
yes.
pickleball
Kevin
tennis
is
courts,
Kim's
it's not that much mowing.
responsibility.
It's more
Right.
brush hogging.
So they need to
weed whacking.
contact
So-
rec.
And my guys
Rec
are out there doing
contacts
it
her
anyway.
and she
Just
calls
makes
him,
sense
not
to
them calling
continue.
him directly.
I know the.
oh,
That's wrong.
I would love, so someone called
around,
him,
like, Brian
someone
Wilson.
using the
Some
field.
gentleman just
Like,
mentioned.
Yeah.
Up
Okay,
around
so-
the corner from me. You know,
And
they
there's a
sit
couple
on
that
Everybody
they-
knows.
We'll talk about
There's a
that
couple
off.
of
The
things
league
they
should
have
not,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the league
I have a
should.
But we do,
No.
yeah.
Correct.
no,
It is improper.
the league should go to rec. Absolutely.
So I have a question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the spreadsheet here. I don't see it. I understand the idea. I just don't see it on the spreadsheet here.
Yeah, it's right under the software support. It
Yeah.
says highway proposal,
It's in
rec
blue.
mowing.
Do you see it in blue?
No, I just
Oh, it's in blue
see
on
software
mine.
support, and underneath I see PB wages administration.
I'm sorry, let me.
Number
go.
342?
The wrong thing, did I open the wrong?
Number
Yeah,
342?
Right there.
Rec mowing. reduced by
with my
11K.
little misspelling
All
on
right.
highway.
So my-
Highway.
So my question then is,
Way.
does that affect your budget, overtime, and any?
No, it would just be.
Doesn't?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, 90% of it will be done, well, not 90% of it, the regular mowing will be done by any summer help that I have, or, us that are out mowing,
Keep those mowers going 24 hours a day.
basically. And then, the cutback will be the New Holland tractor going around and doing it, and maybe some weed whacking. It really isn't a ton of work, and the way they have it spelled out, it's a bunch of it's, twice a year. I'll do it more than that, so it doesn't get over,
And that's what they were thinking, to save money as well, is do it a couple times a year.
Yeah, and if we're doing it, we're gonna be around and out there, we're running down the bike path to turn into Dara and do around the outside of the fence isn't a big deal. It just makes more sense, and
Thank
not
you,
that I'm
Kevin.
looking for, to add on a ton more work, but it isn't that much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks.
I don't have a problem with them going to rec if anybody else doesn't.
Neither do I.
I don't have a problem with it.
I'll be
It's
there
proper
tomorrow
that they
night,
came here.
of course, to ask them if they're okay with it, which I would assume they would be.
And if they're okay with it, then,
Just
we
reduce
Move
could
forward with
reduce
it.
that budget line.
Yep.
But we'll wait for rec.
Well, we have to
That's
wait for their-
another-
It's
that's another
11,000 I don't have to take
15
out of
off?
my budget, right?
That's another 15 off?
11.
That's another 11.
All right,
Yeah.
another 11, okay.
So, I mean,
Yeah, so if they're in the positive tomorrow, then you can make the adjustments for the budget committee on Thursday.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Kevin, thanks for everything.
Of course.
Emergency management.
Then, so this is my error. This, code red should have come out of the budget. That's 4,792. As you know, this service was picked up by our website, by Civic Plus. So we're saying reduce that to 0.
Yep.
Just an idea. We had raised the planning board assistants hours from 15 to 20, so we went from 22 to 29. In speaking with her, I mean, she will do what the board wants, but I think the request is 15. I don't think we raise it if the individual doesn't think that
We want them on the hours.
she is not. It has not traditionally been 20 hours every week. I will say that. It averages 16 to 18.
So at her current, if we do go to 15 hours, that means the planning office is supported 1.8 hour days. Less than a day and a half.
3 hours a day.
And then she's not gonna be here every day for 3 hours, that's for sure.
No, so she's been coming in on Mondays and Thursdays.
Correct. So she's working 8 hours one day and a few
Half a
hours.
day the other.
Yeah. And then what happens to the planning board that she's also required to be attending? That's at least 2 to 3 hours every 2 weeks.
2 hours, it's 8 hours, yeah.
So, I mean,
8 hours a
that
month.
compensates, that's her compensation too, so that she gets paid to come to the meeting, right?
Mm-hmm,
It's
she
part of it,
does.
yeah.
So,
And anything else they need her to do secretarially, right? Letters, et cetera?
That would be during the day, yeah. I mean, I think what happens is ideally a lot of it is done by our circuit writer, by NRPC. I
But is
think
that
we
the right use-
relay
is that the
very
right use?
heavily on NRPC, and maybe that's a question for further down the line, but I think that's a question when you're looking at having an increased position.
Well, that's another problem. I mean, if we're cutting this back to 15 and then a couple years down the road, we're trying to put a full-time position in, it's not gonna make sense to the voters.
It's
Unless
gonna
you're-
be a big cut, yeah,
unless you're removing the circuit rider altogether to help fund it.
right, unless you're play with the circuit right now.
That's gonna be a unique candidate if we could do that.
Well, ideally, we talked about, for a couple of years now, we've talked about just having a land use person, which is what many small communities do. they have a land use person who does the work of the planning board and also assists the zoning board.
Wow.
And it's a full-time position because they're doing a lot and they're not relying on a circuit rider or something like that. I think eventually you'll get there because right now we have a zoning board who's kind of left alone. Joan's not doing it, like she's not doing it. Donna and Matt and I are doing it
For Laura.
for the zoning board.
That could also include grant writing in there too.
And, right,
Sidewalks and all
yeah,
that,
lots
you
of
know,
times that position will
So,
have
so
grant
that could be
writing.
three, land
that
use,
could pay for
zoning, and
itself.
grant writing. Yeah.
That could actually pay for itself. You get a grant writer.
Yeah, if we could get someone that has some
Yep.
experience, yep. But I think it's a conversation once our current,
Situation changes.
yeah, changes.
Okay.
But up to you.
It's
We're
gonna be
just
hard to
giving you
move it forward.
suggestions.
It's gonna be hard to move that forward with the taxpayers. If we reduce this now, they're gonna say, why are we increasing it when we just reduced it? I mean, I know I
It
would be
was,
skeptical.
2025, it was
15.
lower. In 2026, it went up.
So we're just getting rid of the increase. Yeah, we're not reducing it, Bob.
Because it was already set to 15 in 2025?
But it's gonna be tough to add 25 hours to the budget.
Yeah.
Down the road, it's gonna be extremely rough.
Right.
Plus, I mean, if you think about it, if you work one full day and then one partial day, that's at least 3 days a week that nobody's there. So how's that serving our residents for those 3 days? And to
It
me,
pushes it onto
Yeah.
other staff.
even if it's 15 hours a week, it should be 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, to me. So that if somebody comes in as a question, they can get it answered that day. They don't have to wait 1 day, 2 days, maybe another day and a weekend. I don't-
And that time's supposed to include the meeting time as well, right?
Yeah, and then if you have a meeting
That's-
that
those
week, now
go
you only,
3 hours,
Right.
not a good day.
Yep.
Roughly about 3 hours, right?
So it,
6 hours right there,
Yeah. A week, yeah.
maybe 5 if it's fast.
it's like 6 and 6 and
So-
and 3 at
Uh,
the ORs.
Yeah, so how
Yeah,
do we
6
want
and a half,
how do we want to
6 and a
proceed
half,
then?
and-
Do we want to recommend the reduction or not?
I don't,
at this point,
Find
I'd say
something
no.
else.
But I'd say wait until Steve's here. Anything like this should have the full board.
Well, we're not, well, the only thing we're only, I guess we have to start voting on these things anyways.
Yeah.
We have to vote the bottom line.
Yeah, but you can leave that one. You can leave whatever ones you're not comfortable with, you know, and we'll
For
just.
2 weeks? Will that wait for 2 weeks?
Well, the problem is the budget committee's gonna be voting on Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
it
we
won't
kinda
wait
have
2
to-
weeks,
we
so we're
have to-
gonna have to
Whether
decide
Steve's
now.
here, I'd rather, we
We
have to
can't,
vote this
we
budget
can't.
tonight.
Yeah, okay.
So we
I do
can't,
the
we can't
same
punt
thing.
in.
Well, in that case, judging by his past comments, he was in favor of the 20 hours a week
Mhm.
for this position, so.
Leave it.
So leave, so let's,
That's only 7. We can find that somewhere else.
I have some ideas.
I'd say leave it
Okay.
here.
Do you want to do your cuts or you want me to go right into the revenue?
Let's,
Don?
let me present my cuts
Okay.
first, and then I think,
I've got some cuts.
all right. So, I went through the budget this past weekend, just kind of seeing where I could find little nickels and dimes, and this is some thoughts I had. So, we already covered the software, because I had captured the same, I had a different number, but I'm happy with your number. In the IT budget, under 4150.20-630 equipment maintenance, I had raised, we had raised the communications maintenance from 8 to 12, because every year I come in 10, I keep on cutting it down. After, I have some failures that happened last weekend, which causes me to spend the money this year, so I'm requesting to drop it by 2 to make that 10. So that's a $2,000 reduction. In legal expenses,
On which line item?
630.
630.
Yeah, it goes with the, if you wanna go it'll be the one
Yeah,
that's
I'm in.
PS Communications, it's currently Public Safety Communications, third from the bottom there.
Third from the bottom.
Yep.
Got it. Yep.
Yep, right now it's at 12, I'm saying reduce it to 10.
From 12 to 10. Okay.
And then, I looked at legal expenses, and here's a food for thought. My thought was, we reduced it already once and got it to 25. I'm suggesting reduce by another 5, making it 20, here's the caveat. I'm also suggesting we put a warrant article to create a legal fund, revolving fund, and fund it with $10,000 from unassigned. So that we have the float if we have any overruns. And the other part of it was, it feels like to me that most of the legal issues we've had related to other things that would cause that number to go up have set aside, and now we're just dealing with things like the takeover and stuff like that's coming out, being paid for by the warrant anyway, that got passed last year. So carrying 25 in a tough year doesn't make a lot of sense, but I do like the idea of creating a revolving fund as a safety net to that program, so we have some money in that account if we need extra funding. So, again, my suggestion is to reduce it by 5, to sit at 20, and then we would put a warrant in for funding a revolving fund that we could add to every year as we think we need to, and always have a float, and maybe at some point in time, reduce legal fees in the operating budget because we have plenty of money in the revolving fund.
So it's at 22.5, reduce it another 2,500? Or reduce it
When I looked at the budget sheet, it was at 25,
I
25
see
five.
22.5 in here,
22?
because that was
25.5.
reduced already.
so I would say reduce it by 22.5 then,
Okay,
so I must have been looking at, maybe I looked at the wrong line or something like
So
that.
it'll be 20,000.
Yeah, to make
I'm
it
looking at
20,000.
25.5 department post.
Yeah, I
That's
see
what it
20.
says.
department
up there,
proposed
but
was 25.
Five. And I think-
Selectmen proposed is 22.5, you
Yeah, that's
already
fine.
reduced it 2,500.
Yeah.
So we'll reduce another 2,500.
to make it 20,
Okay.
yep.
All right.
And again, I think we should follow that up with a warrant that comes out unassigned for 10,000.
I would agree with that.
I'll put a warrant.
The next one was in zoning board, 419130, line 811, seminars. So the seminar was for 10 people at whatever the multiplier was. I'm suggesting reduce it to 5 people. I don't see 10 people next year because I don't have 10 people attending a seminar.
So zoning,
Yeah, it was 10, right? So it's 750.
10 and 7.
So I'm saying
and
make sure it's
You already
5.
reduced it
Yeah, and I wanna make it,
250.
yeah, so I wanna make it for 5, so I would make it, 375 instead. Right?
Why did that? No, it's not reduced.
Mhm.
It's not reduced.
Yeah, so 375.
Yeah, proposed was 750, department 250.
So
See 750.
reduce,
To reduce it, how much?
By half.
By half.
Yeah, because the calculation was 10 times 20, 75.
375,
750, so it'd be,
375?
So that would give them, 5 people can attend a seminar for $375.
And you only have 5, right? Not counting alternates, sometimes?
Right now, they're struggling for members, and again, I don't see everyone
only
going.
one went to the
Correct.
Okay.
conference last year.
So that's why I'm saying, I think it's, if they suddenly, I mean, at the end of the day, if they suddenly get more, we could find
Take it
$75 someplace else. It just, it makes no sense to raise it and not use it. I think we already talked about code red, so that's there. So those were my thoughts around reductions. Some Kim already captured with the department heads, some are the ones that I come up with while I was reviewing it. Now, I did have some thoughts around the fire department. I was not aware of the cuts they already made, so that's great. I'm not sure I really feel good about the cuts they made, but I think I like the
Sorry.
My issue is, I like the idea that the 4-man coverage, because one is 10 police, usually someone from the department's full-time, I get that part. I still think their call numbers are going up, so keeping it at 900 and reducing it to 3, I think that does hurt them a little bit. But, and I'll just throw this out here for school for thought. They have a line called, it's 120 call firefighters, but it's called storm, 3rd man, full-time coverage, reduced, for 536 hours at their current average rate. My thought was they should just cut it to, that would be reasonable to cut it to 400 hours, which would result in a 2856 reduction, make it 8400.
Is that this line, John?
Line
Yes,
120?
yes.
Line
120,
120, yeah.
13,
Yeah, line 13 there, yep.
yeah.
And I would, that's my thought, I would definitely ask them, they were out today, obviously, they weren't around, I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna go call him on a day off. But the fact is, they did cut it already significantly, so it's probably moot at this point. But the other thing I thought about too is they're also carrying an on-call stipend. And what made me think about this on-call stipend was the conversation we had about the library and if the community was going to take an action to remove the library, how that works, right? And in there, they would say the warrant article would remove, the voters would vote yes, and the warrant article actually would cause the budget to get reduced. So I'm suggesting that on their stipend for seven nights, $50 a night, for 36,500, which is their on-call person. If the warrant is successful for their per diem overnight coverage, that should go totally out of the budget. It does not help our tax cap, it just removes it in the budget when tax setting comes. So that would mean that if that warrant passes and the wording is allowed to be attached to that warrant, come tax setting time, that number would get removed from the operating appropriation and not be part of the tax calculation.
But it doesn't help us going in, because we don't know whether or not the warrant will pass.
Right.
Correct, that's why it's staying in the budget now, and when the warrant passes, if it passes, the motion would be, the warrant would authorize that funding to be removed from the tax base. So it removes it from the budget ideally, and then does not get tax raised in October.
So how many hours were you suggesting on the storm coverage?
I'm suggesting to reduce it to 400 hours. And the rationale behind that was between the full-time coverage they have during the daytime, the weekend coverage they have in the daytime, and then if they get the per diem coverage in the daytime, that kind of station coverage need is not gonna be a higher demand. I do wanna leave money there, cause definitely we want people in the station, we don't want just 2 people, but I don't think we need 400 hours, yearly, or more than 400 hours yearly. And, obviously, if the department has thoughts around that,
Okay.
so those were my ideas and my concepts, so.
We're not voting on any of this. You're gonna go do research on this?
Well,
Department head?
yeah, I mean,
Look,
I,
it's 2 weeks.
we have 2 weeks, I mean,
Good,
We
2
don't
weeks.
have 2 weeks, because they vote on it on Thursday.
they start voting on Thursday, yes, and I don't know if they'll get through all the budget on Thursday, but, there's always an opportunity to come back and have them re-voted again. So I would say on the last 2, or at least the last one, the storm coverage, I would wait to get feedback from them
Okay.
specifically. And if they're in agreement, then we can make the motion to change it during the budget meeting, if the board and concept makes sense.
Who is them? Is that- Perfect, okay, because I don't feel comfortable. I've seen a few people looking at this, right, Ed and the chief, so.
Yep.
I would want to hear from them.
But I
don't
think
have
the
special-
IT, the legal, and the zoning are
Yeah,
fine
Yeah.
to do.
I'm okay with the legal one as well, it's just, when they see another one coming out of the, unassigned balance, we have to really do some education there. Because if they just keep seeing so many unassigned again,
well, I'm feeling this year they're not gonna see a whole lot anyway.
I don't know, I'm not sure what the article
Yeah.
is.
Now,
I mean, we gotta put more money into the welfare.
mhm.
We need more money into the ambulance revolving, those 2. And then you have health agencies, that the money we give to the agencies. So, and we need more money in the public works trust fund, which is down to nothing. So those are 4 right there that we've traditionally done from unassigned.
Mhm.
If you don't, the budget committee's not gonna be able to support them because of the tax cap.
I personally think we continue the unassigned approach and just educate the voters. If it fails, it just means next year we gotta try harder, the following year, right, to try harder.
I agree, all those should stay in unassigned. I just, if the list becomes so big, people are gonna,
Well, I think that's the other thing too, I think our goal this year should be as minimum warrants as possible. And not to overrun them, but,
Well, what if I wonder if it's different to the voters if you're moving money from unassigned to a trust, right? We're not making a purchase. We're saying we need to save this money over here versus here.
it could be.
The school board's been, I think, pretty successful with that.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe that's a different conversation than we're using the unassigned to
Yeah,
purchase them.
I wanna say that, I mean, last year was not, I won't say anomaly, but just a kind of a weird year in how the votes went, especially on unassigned. In the previous years, when we've used unassigned to fill funds, revolving funds, or other funds for rainy days, there seemed to be no problem with it.
No.
So I guess we'll have to feel it
Well, I
out.
think last year, a big part of that was, what was gonna happen with the tax, the reassessment. I think there was a lot of worry about what was gonna happen with the reassessment, and so everything kinda got voted down. I think a lot had to do with that.
It could be, and I'm hoping
And
that,
that's gonna be settled, and it's really not gonna have too much impact for too many people, right?
Right.
that's
Which
the
is what
feeling.
it's not supposed to do.
Right.
It's not supposed to have a lot of impact, it's just supposed to revalue the property and lower the tax rate.
The best thing is that the election's in March and we'll have the tax in December. And we'll know what those impacts are and hopefully the folks that, hopefully it's all gonna be received pretty well. We'll see.
I think so, because it actually came out correctly. If it had come out differently, then I think it would have been harder.
Right.
But I think that's also,
That's the theory of what is supposed to happen.
but I do feel like that's gonna be there'll be someone's perspective that it wasn't correct. And we need to figure out how to address that if we can.
Mhm.
All right, so those were my recommendations. Do you wanna move to revenues and then we can talk about, and then maybe just both the whole thing as a change?
Sure. We had, the process is Karen and I sit and we talk about our revenues and what they're tracking for the current year. Then we go back and we have to adjust with the Department of Revenue what we think our revenues will be for the end of 2025. Because any changes then gets picked up in the tax rate that they issue. While we're doing that, we also look at the revenues for the coming year. And when we did that, we realized motor vehicles is up. And so we had already recommended putting another 50 in that line. The budget committee asked us Thursday night if we felt comfortable adding another 30. Karen and I didn't want to comment until we could go back and look at the numbers. So what we did Friday morning was I had Donna and Matt do an exercise to tell us how many units of development are yet to be filled. Right, they don't have occupancy permits because they'll probably have occupancy permits in 2026. And so that's what you see over to the right here is the number of remaining new units to come online. And so there's 82 units left to come online. And Terry says 500 piece. I almost died when I saw that registration. Is about right. 2 cars on average for a home, I think is pretty standard these days. So that says about $82,000. So we are recommending another third, our revenues of motor vehicles to be increased another 30.
Nice.
You took the challenge and
That's how we did it, yeah. We did not want to say anything Thursday night until we could go back and look at the numbers and.
Smart.
Suppose they don't meet it, cause it's all speculation. Suppose they don't sell.
So, I mean, the good and
The
bad.
good, they don't sell.
Good and bad with
There was a
revenue.
big
I have my devil's advocate outfit on today.
That's good. So we increase it for the budget. Next year, Karen and I are going through this process, and the DRA is going to say, "Are you going to come in at your projections?" And worst thing happens, and we say, "Nope, we got to reduce motor vehicles by 30,000. We are originally right." You know, that 30,000 comes up. It's pennies. It's not even a penny on the tax rate.
Right.
It's
What about, so is this just the units that are being created and the houses that are being built? What about the apartments that are coming in?
no. So 54 more over on 102.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I see it. Route
Yeah.
102 units, okay.
So
And that's
That
just
doesn't
what
count
we know.
houses. This
right,
doesn't count
yeah,
houses.
that doesn't count ADUs and
Or new
And-
people moving into other apartments.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, other,
Okay.
Or new houses being built.
yeah.
Yep, or new houses.
Or so
being built.
houses being
Yeah.
sold
So
and new
that's
residents
probably a
coming in.
pretty good,
Yeah.
probably a pretty good number.
I think so. I think we felt pretty safe with that.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's another 30. So if we take out the 7 and that's a PDF.
You gave us the PDF.
Why'd I do that?
Please give us the sheet, would you?
Yes, I will, because that is
74,900.
maddening. I just
I'd like to
made
be
it.
watching it live and
It
go,
made it much
74,985.
difficult for
I want the tally now.
myself.
Kim, 74985.
Jerry Lewis, what's the tote board say now?
Right?
Minus
You can still add it up.
7015 equals 79,841. 60.
82,000 minus 7,000?
86,
You're at 80.
856,
Yours is
80.
86. Oh. Okay,
So this is what,
giving you the wrong info.
so if I take 86,
Mm-hmm.
And minus the 7, right?
Minus the 7,000.
856, 80. Everyone at home can tell me if I'm wrong. Minus 7,015, because I hate the phone calculator. Do we come up with 79,841, 80?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking.
Math's on.
They're not helping me. Thanks, guys. And then we add the 4875 that John had, if everyone agrees with those. I have 84,716.60.
Okay,
Next time I'm doing a sheet.
I may have a revenue idea, but I don't know if you wanna wait till later.
Oh, well, no, I think we.
I don't know if this,
Bring it out. Are
I don't
we
know.
dancing
It could
or
be
what,
good or
Kim?
bad.
We could be dancing
Good or
out
bad.
of Dara.
so,
Yeah.
I was thinking, past towns I've lived at years ago, and it's gonna sound terrible, please hear me out. There was a $5 fee for your recycling center dump sticker per year. And if we do about 3,000 cars a year, that's $15,000. I don't know, I know my neighbors have pickup, and they pay a lot of money for pickup, but they also can go to here for free as well when they get their sticker. So I'm just trying to think, the $15,000 in an account fund for the transfer station might be some money. They have a very good budget, and they usually only come to us when something breaks. But it would be nice maybe if they had another revenue stream, maybe security cameras or something for maintenance,
Well,
so.
we'd have to change the fee structure to include a permit fee.
Yep.
Public hearing and everything else before we can even put it in the budget. But I would say, when we try to float the $5 on a registration per every vehicle that go to the highway, it got shot way down, so.
Which was not my suggestion, by the way.
No, I mean,
It became my
That last
suggestion,
comment
I
was,
guess.
Look at her running away.
So,
well, I
again,
think, if you remember, we had this conversation around adding $5 to registration
and
fees.
it failed.
And it just kinda,
What was
there was
that?
no,
Road
no
fund,
majority.
yeah.
this is not a car
road
registration.
fee.
You
It
can
was a
have-
road fee.
You can have 2 cars in your family and only need one, the truck or whatever car.
Oh, yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying the $5 fee seemed like, it's the right thing to do. It feels right to do it, but no one seemed to be in support of it. I don't know about this.
I think it was a nickel and dime in the.
Yeah, I think that's what I said, and my concern is, as a
Residents.
taxpayer, I'm already paying for access to that facility. Why do I have to pay
Pay
more
again.
$5 to go there?
Are they paying for access to that?
Yeah, I pay in my taxes.
It's in your, so but the point, you either pay it there or you're gonna pay it in your taxes either way, so.
You still pay any taxes, so just raise the
And then
taxes.
so
by
then-
I'm just trying to come up with ideas, that's
Yeah,
all.
No, very-
And it is common.
So now we're back to.
It is
Many
common, it's
other
been in towns I've lived in the
communities
past.
that have a,
Yeah.
sticker
yeah,
to pay
sticker
$5.
fee, yeah.
And you know who doesn't belong at
I
our
don't have a
mall,
problem with it, honestly.
if they don't have a sticker.
But which
That's
one?
right.
But which one? You didn't like the one with the cars.
No,
Nickel and dime, and you like.
No, because you're paying
What
a
was that
registration
for?
fee already.
Yeah.
but you're paying for the services of the recycling center by your taxes, plus you're paying fees to recycle things. We're not giving it away for free.
And I have pickup, and it.
No, I
it
do
still
too, and I
doesn't
still go to
bother-
the dump once a
Yeah,
month.
and
So,
it
I mean, I still
still
go to the
wouldn't
recycling
bother- It
once a
wouldn't
month.
bother me to pay
Well,
$5 or
I'm
even
not.
$10, you know?
I mean, I wouldn't have to
And-
buy one because I have a.
These are tough decisions we have to make, but the residents gave us a direction last year, so, I mean,
Do a lot of people have pickup?
There's quite a
this
few.
town has a lot
I
of
have
pickup.
pickup.
There's two
You
companies.
see
that run
them
the road.
every day in this
Yeah.
town, whether
You
it's.
drive through and you see trash cans outside.
Really?
But the
Yeah, it's a
facilities
Well, I
use,
would too if I lived.
the facilities does too. I mean, I bring all my recycling to the facility because
Yep.
they don't
That
take
big
you
stuff
some.
that goes there.
Yeah, big stuff goes
But we
there.
do have a lot of tonnage, so there's
Mhm.
a lot of
Yeah.
people that are bringing it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think that we have to go through the motions of creating the fee structure first, before I think we can put in the budget as a revenue source.
Right, so I think it's
It's not a bad idea.
conversation we have.
See where the budget falls. When I thought of that, we were 433,000 over. So I was thinking of other ways for fees.
So if we take out the 7, we leave, John's other one until after we talk to the fire department. And you approve the fire on-call reduction, the fire one outfit, one protective unit reduction of 66. Highway taking, if it is approved by rec, highway taking the mowing for 11. Code red 4792. Increasing the revenues in motor vehicles by 30. IT line 39, reducing that $2,000. Reducing legal another $2,500. And zoning seminars by 375. That's a total of $84,716.60. If my iPhone works. Or we can take out whichever ones the board doesn't want to vote on.
What was the total reduction again? 86 what?
84,716.60.
$84,716.60. 716, right? Am I hearing that right?
716.60. That's what I.
My hearing is like failing me
Oh.
today.
Watch me. I'm never doing this again where I don't put the sheet in.
I would rather have live sheets all the time.
I know. I mean, I'm like a
Just lock
typical
us out so we
finance
can't
person.
change
I
it.
have to have an Excel sheet or a Google sheet or whatever it is. Like, hate calculators.
On the storm coverage, which John had brought up.
Yeah.
It says, full-time coverage, then it says earned time and educational leave, in parentheses.
Which one? Yeah.
What does that mean? Because my thought would be to make this a stipend, like we have the weekend stipend,
So
and that would eliminate any leave or earned time.
I believe what they're using that bucket of labor dollars to cover for other people that are supposed to be doing something, like someone's at training, they gotta cover their shift.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Paul
Yeah.
or Jason are on vacation, and
They need someone to come in and cover.
right.
So I think it's like a catch-all for using a call firefighter to do a full-time position or a per diem position
Yeah.
throughout the year. That's why I said, at the surface, I think that's a good number, but I'd like to get their feedback before we would accept that one number. So that's not included in that total, the $84,716.60.
No, I left that out.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll make a motion that we reduce by $84,716.60, from the lines of, from lines 120 fire department wages, from line 682 fire department protective gear, from our, software support services from the finance accounting 342, EDC, emergency management software line, for code red, And then the reduction for the planning wages for the administrative assistants, equating to, like I said, $84,716.60. Right.
So
Did I
that,
miss one?
nope, the highway mowing,
Oh, highway and including the highway mower,
Reducing-
assuming approved by the
right.
rec.
Were
So-
we reducing the planning board or were we leaving that
I'm
off?
not in favor of that.
I left it off.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
We'll leave it
I'll
off.
strike that last part.
The
And
7,000.
then
I'm reading my notes and it's still there.
your 3, IT, legal, zoning.
Yep.
And add 30
And we're still at 84.
in revenues.
And so
Yeah.
so that adds up to your 84, right?
84,716.60.
Okay,
Do I have a second?
yep. Second?
Second by Mr. Leary. Any other discussion? Nice teamwork. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 400.
Yes, thank you, Karen, Terry, fire,
Where are we at? on-
highway, good teamwork.
So now we're what, we are 19 over, 19 under?
So,
Tax cap.
You wish.
we were 24,064.98
Okay.
under if you did the 86.
Does that include the health increases?
Yes, it does. And it includes
Because you said 40 over after
a
health and
couple
dental.
others that we have to talk about.
I have one
so.
question on that, going back to that, the 6 people that are retired and the $20,000 more. And you're saying that it would be maybe $1,000 more for each of them? Wouldn't it be cheaper for us just to pay the 6,000 and take the 14 as savings?
Pay the 6,000 a month?
Well, it's 6,
It's 500 a month, right? You said? Is that right?
It's, right now, it's 500 a month.
Yeah. And it's going up to what?
Well, the one we showed was, it was a little bit over 1,500, so that's 1,000.
oh, so
Well,
it's
it's
6,000
Six
a
a
month.
month.
Okay, it's a quarter.
6,000
All right.
per, so it'd be
Never mind.
36,000.
It was a thought.
Yep. No, it's a good thought.
So, 2140, 20, so 20, oh, 60. And if I 20, $21,924.78 under the cap.
Woo!
Okay.
Does that include the elderly exemption and veterans exemption as well? We still have to figure that out, right?
That's a warrant article. And
Oh, that's
the
a
good
warrant,
news about veterans credits and elderly exemptions,
Don't.
they don't hit the cap.
Good, that's what I
Oh,
meant.
okay.
Perfect, okay.
That, those are warrant articles that get proposed into tax setting time, but they do not
Yep.
affect the cap.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
So,
Wanted to make sure we covered that, you know, we
should have
covered
more of
that.
those.
And if it
So
didn't-
I'll update this spreadsheet, with all the right numbers and everything. I'll send it out to the board and I'll send it to Matt now that I probably have him thoroughly confused as to what we did.
Yep.
Okay.
So you want to do the open position piece? Or do you want to, you have open positions on the bottom of the sheet too? Because I think when we talk about the because the budget topic, one of the other
First sheet, right?
one of the other topics is how do we get the ability for the budget committee to be able to agree to the warrant as it relates to cruisers?
Yes.
So I'm assuming this second half was based on that.
That, it was. So, unfortunately, this will, and now this number's changed a little because we didn't use it all, but see the 346, 555 here, that would have been the amount that we were over default. Cause the budget committee's worried about that gap. It's now because we didn't do about 2,000 of it, so it's, call it 348 over the cap,
Over the default.
over the default, sorry.
Okay.
Ooh. Um,
What's the
what do
percent?
we do to get that closer?
I don't know how we can. I think I mean, this is why the budget committee was focusing on the library and to be able to reduce it by $300,000 by removing the library totally, which I don't think that's the right decision either.
I mean,
I don't know how you make up a year of increases. That's the challenge.
if you, so there's two positions open within the, police department budget. And I'm not proposing this, I'm not recommending it, I'm not nothing. But the question was asked of the budget committee, does the select board have the authority, since those positions were voted on by town meeting, added by the voters, does the select board have the right not to put someone in those positions and use those funds somewhere else? And legal said yes. Regardless of if the voters have put the positions in the budget, it's the select board that decide how to staff.
Correct.
So, I mean, those two positions, yeah, it was an ugly conversation.
It's a terrible conversation.
Those two positions with the health cost that would accompany those two positions, is 191,000. I'm not proposing or recommending. Could you put them both? Could you put one in for half a year? Could you? I mean, I
So I think
that's what the budget committee was asking, and I.
right. What they don't want to do is they don't want to force us to affect people in seats today, and they're figuring their argument is these positions are not filled, and they haven't been filled for a while. And that's not a fault of the department, it's the process. It takes a long time to get quality people. One position is the SRO position that the voters voted on 2 years ago, roughly. I think it was 2 years ago. And the other one's the 14th position that's been trying to be filled for quite a while. And the chief's here, so I would certainly invite you up to fill in the gaps. But my understanding is, well, my belief is that we need to fill the patrol position. The road position should get filled. And if the chief has a different opinion now, that's great. Come on up here.
Take me just 2 steps here.
That's why I don't hike.
I'm just tight 10 steps in and I'll be fine.
He only took 6.
Hiking's good for you. Doesn't
So,
like it.
yeah, it's not a matter of even preference. It's we just have to fill the road first, right? Like I have to have people to answer the 911 calls when they come in. Like even now with the current SRO, you know, he's there 40 hours a week, but there are times when he has to come out and answer calls just because of the nature of the business. But also, like last week, he was on vacation, so we sent extra people into the schools so that, you know, there's a give and take there. But yeah, if we're going to fill one position, it's going to have to be that road position.
Yeah, and I think I've been getting a lot of positive feedback on the SRO, our current SRO today.
Oh, they love him.
Yeah.
And I think there's a huge value to the department, to the community, to have an SRO as active as he is. That's why my preference would be, we should try to continue to try to bring at least the patrol officer in and delay the additional SRO until we can figure out how to fund it. I asked the question of the school board chair, what the school's feeling would be. I think he understands, but he also knows that they want the other SRO too. But I think, as I said, our priority is to support the greater community and make sure that the roads are covered and protected. So, I don't wanna see us I don't want us to delay 2. I'd like to see us allow the chief to continue to try to recruit for the least the patrol and maybe instruct to hold off on 1 so we can reduce the budget by that much this year until we figure out what we're gonna do going forward.
Yeah. I mean,
How do you feel about that, Dan?
Again, it is what it is. You know, I mean, obviously, I would love to see us at full staff. You know, when I came in January of '24, we're operating at less than half staff. And now we've built back up to where we are now, and that's great, but I would love to see us, especially because that last position is the SRO position. But I understand that you have tough decisions to make. I'm glad I'm not in your shoes, because it's not an easy decision to make, to, you know, no matter what, if something's gonna have to get cut somewhere, so I understand that.
But I would like to say it's not gonna cut, it's just gonna be zeroed out for this year and try to go back in 2027.
And what,
dollar.
how does it affect us if we do the half
Dollar,
year?
keep the line.
How does it affect us if we do the half year? What does that save?
So if the
half year.
53 is an estimate of the health insurance for two people, right? And that, we always estimate, if it's an unfilled position, we estimate a two-person, right? You could get someone to come in and it's a single and it changes, but we estimate a two-person. So that's 26.7 a person, because we did it for both positions. So if you either cut and only do half a year, then let's see. I don't like this system. 34, that one would cost you 34,000. And then and it would save you 13,000 if you moved one position half time, you'd save 47.
Does that save us what we need to save?
Nope.
No.
So right now you're still about 348,000 between you and the default.
If you cut both, you're getting it down to 157 or something like that, if you cut both, which you don't wanna do, right?
No.
It's not bringing it down to 150.
Yeah, no, you're right, but
Yeah,
I don't think you want to do.
No, I don't.
I was
I
saying,
don't.
yeah, which I don't.
No,
I was
no.
agreeing with you.
Okay.
All right. All right, so reduce it by one then.
My,
that
my thought was big, and again, I'm wearing devil's advocate outfit tonight. The voters voted on the SRO, so to me, that's a no-no to pull that out, and to not fund it, and to not actively search for it. I think we'd be doing a disservice to the people that voted this in. If I was gonna remove something, I would remove the one that's been open for a while, and I hate to say it to you, because I know you want it, but that would be my suggestion.
So, just going off that, what's more important to you? The
If you're asking me, I'll tell you SRO all day long, because
No,
those are our kids.
I say all the time that the SROs, again, when the town voted in, I agree. We weren't able to fill it at this point. Now we've been handed a default. We're trying to recover from that default. We are short road staff to maintain the coverage we have on all the shifts we have. So we'll be doing, all we're gonna do, go hire the SRO. He's gonna end up being on the road more than in the school, because that's where the need is. Right? And I get it. The feel good is say the voters, but the voters, by the way, voted in the 14th officer too.
They
Do
did.
half and
And
half.
it's been open for a number of years now.
Well, and,
So isn't the SRO.
So again,
Well-
I'm saying if we leave the SRO position in and they hires one, he puts it on the road, it's up to him to run his department the way he sees fit.
So just cut one, and
Let you decide.
we'll let you
Yeah.
decide.
point of clarification, the second SRO position is a part-time position. It's not a 40-hour-a-week SRO. It's only was voted in as a part-time position.
Well, it's budgeted.
It's
Yeah, it's
budgeted.
budgeted as a
No, it's
full-time, yeah, it's
full-time.
supposed to be full-time.
It's full-time.
I was always,
Nope.
I was told, no, it is full-time?
full-time,
Okay,
yeah.
well,
Absolutely full-time.
Well, it's budgeted,
So-
that.
So, my problem with the statement that the position been open too long, let's remember what the department went through.
Believe me, I sat through
I
it.
know, but this department fell apart for a whole period of
I
time.
did,
Lack of leadership, misleadership, misdirection,
I did.
no direction.
political games, bullshit. So that's why the
Wrong
department's
direction.
fallen. This is why the department's fallen, was behind. Since the chief was hired, he's right-sized it and got it back to where it needs to be.
Thank God.
He's on the path of getting the next officer. He's on the path of getting the SRO, but right now we have a budget problem. And where else can, we have no other place to go get that kind of money without impacting some other service. And
Nobody's arguing that. I'm advocating for what the taxpayers voted in 2 years ago.
but the taxpayers,
That was
little
a
longer
tough,
2 years ago.
that was a tough sell for the taxpayers, to sell that to the taxpayers.
Could you split it?
Well, yeah, obviously, I think day-to-day
How you run your
operations,
department's up to you, chief. you
right,
know?
day-to-day operations, I would agree that's my decision, but the general direction, I think, I should be looking to you for that kind of leadership.
Well, the problem, when you do an SRO, my understanding is you're looking for a certain quality person for the SRO position.
Right.
The road officer is a different quality officer. I mean, if you can find someone that can do both as an intern, I'm all for it. Like I said, if we don't save it here where we have these two opens of positions, and the argument would be, well, you can't fill them, so might as well just remove it, at least temporarily. Where else do we go in our budget and reduce it by, let's call it
I'm
$50,000?
saying pull one out. I'm saying pull one out.
But if you
And
pull,
how he decide,
yeah, if you pulled one out,
Mhm.
is there a current officer that could go half-time SRO?
I believe so, yes. I have somebody with the skills to do it, I would just have to talk to them, make sure. I had this
They would-
conversation with that officer in the past, and they said they'd be willing, to do that if it came to that, so I certainly would have a pathway there.
Okay.
That would get you half
So let's-
SRO and a,
So let's reduce it by one and have the chief do what he feels right with that position.
And again, it's up to the chief how he does it, but what we've seen the last few years in this country with, loonies out there, basically, keeping the kids safe is absolutely paramount.
so I can do it either way in the budget. I can reduce it to half and half, but that's gonna be hard.
I would
ju-
use the
just
description
eliminate
of
one.
SRO slash patrol
Patrol, just, SRO/patrol.
and just
leave
put in one line.
Okay,
Why don't you just eliminate one position,
yep,
let the chief hire his person,
yep,
whoever it may be, and
so we're
do
gonna,
the half and half. How
okay.
he
so-
does it is up to him.
For my own clarification, when you say eliminate, you're talking about going to $1?
$1.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
keep
we're
the
not- yeah.
position.
Keep it in the budget,
Yeah,
just eliminate.
Definitely.
Officially keeping the position, and we're just reducing the money out of it.
So that is going to then save.
Well, that gets us 50,000 that we need to
Oops.
go something else.
Your fault,
Fine.
cause Kim can't
500
use the laptop.
$95,556.
Give me my
How
computer.
fast is my math? 95556?
Oh,
That's it, I'm going home. You got a math problem, right?
right,
Son of a bitch.
You didn't say there was gonna be math.
see, with that Litchfield education.
That's it. Spend more time in the classroom, less at the driving.
All right, so that saves you 95 now. Okay, we're 250. Call it 250 away from the default. I mean, there's not anything.
You're talking about
else.
the proposed
The-
default,
Yeah, the proposed default.
which is 5% over last year's?
No, it's actually less than last year's because out came the 150 for the lease.
Yep.
At least hurt us in the default. Helped us in the operating, hurt us in the default.
So, before we get too far,
Yeah.
can we clarify the motion? So the motion's gonna be is we're reducing one position, and what's the total dollar amount we're reducing?
I'm not saying it again.
95,555.39 or
Okay, so I make a motion, we
556.
reduce the budget. by the-
95,555.39.
I second that.
Motion made and seconded by Ms.
Plansky.
Lansky. Further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 400. So you have a position, there'll be $1 left in that line.
Yep.
And it's be up to you how you decide to
15.
move forward. Don't go too far.
Yeah.
You heard
We're
it
talking about
anyway, so I'll
cars.
just stay there. So now, that gets us, you said how much different between the default, proposed
So-
default?
We were.
I don't think we can solve that
4.
problem, that's my biggest issue.
7-1. 1660. That's 180, 271 that you cut tonight. And,
Out of 433?
yeah,
I'm not doing that math.
433, I had 386, or 346, I thought.
whoops, plus.
So it's like 250 now, right, roughly?
It is.
So again, I don't feel how we,
251, 100. I
alright,
don't think you're getting it. I
No.
mean, you'd have to go something big, like the fields, or, you know,
Library.
I mean,
So,
it would
let me-
change Litchfield.
Yep.
alright, so the other goal of this was to, I think we have enough money now under the cap to be able to allow the budget committee to support a warrant that we drastically need.
Yes.
If we're doing three cruisers, like we talked about. So that's a conversation. So in concept, I think we got there. I don't know how we can get closer to the default without making another major change. Now, one of the other things that was discussed, or at least brought up in conversation, was rec fields. And specifically because they were informed of the RFP and where roughly it was gonna come in, what the numbers look like, right? Or they know what the max was. They're suggesting that the rec commission start charging leagues for the use of the fields, by league. Some number, whether it's $2,000 a year or $3,000 a year, or whatever the number is, to help offset the maintenance of those fields. Now, I don't know, I have not communicated to the rec commission that that's an idea, but that's what came out of the budget meeting. And there are several people on the budget committee from the rec leagues that are saying this is doable.
So I think that it is very similar to at the school when they have problems hitting budgets, charging all the athletes
Yeah.
an additional fee.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the same theory. My kid played everything.
Mhm.
And I think that if I had to pay a fee, because my kid played, I think I would have been okay. That's my opinion.
All my kids had to pay to play in most cases. I just,
Well, we were already paying to play. You're talking about increasing it.
yeah,
It's always pay to play.
yeah, it's true.
But it's a very small amount versus you start charging for those fields.
The one argument that came across against it was, we had this issue around the porta potties, and as soon as we started talking about porta potties and the league's paying for it, they said, we own them now, no one could use them, and that kind of thing, and ownership became an issue, and I'm like, this can't be, you're getting paid, you're paying a fee to have the use of a field, not ownership of the field, use of the field, to at least be able to buy into the schedule. Again, I'm not a fan of it, but again, how do you offset an $80,000 mains fee? You can cut it down in half by charging the leagues some reasonable number. That's the budget committee's thought process around it. Same thing with the porta potties. They cut the porta potties, make the leagues pay for it, reduce the budget by $7,000. They're try to cut it by
And
40.
it is part of the population that is using the service.
Yeah.
Which I think is fairer than, the Boy Scouts who are never on a field, those parents are paying for it too, and their kids don't use them. I don't know, I
Or
guess
elderly people that don't
Right.
have kids.
they're paying for it.
Or-
Yeah, but a lot of our fields are more than just baseball fields, soccer fields. We have Dara Park, Dara is one example of a multi-use field that families do enjoy the playgrounds and stuff like that.
Right, but we're talking about the fields portion of
Yeah,
it.
we are.
Well, I'd just say that these leagues do a lot of maintenance on the fields. They put a lot of time and effort in that you can't put the price tag on because it would be astronomical. And I know in the case of Litchfield softball, they donate a lot of money and items to the fields. I mean, they bought fences for the fields, they redo the fields every year, which saves the town a ton of money. So to tell them you're gonna charge them another fee, I mean, you might get people stop doing it, and that's gonna fall on the town.
That's my fear too. And
right now, we have a reputation for having some of the best fields in the state.
Right.
People that come in and use the facilities say that, and we might lose that.
Yeah, because my reference point was also baseball, and when my kids were growing up, we did a lot of field work, we brought a lot of
We
sand, we
did.
did all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I assume the leagues are still doing that. I'm not, obviously, all of my kids are grown, and my grandkids are just getting
The
into it.
big thing used to be when I was honest, like I used to end up doing every concession
Yeah, I did too.
because we weren't charging, we weren't charging an extra fee to not have to do that. I think they've addressed that on the leagues.
I mean, I remember my first year coaching LMS, and your son was on the team. We had a field weekend. We went out there, all the kids, all the parents. I had them walking around the infield with buckets, picking up all the rocks off the dirt. And we dug out the whole infield, and that was all done not at a penny to the town.
Nintu Park,
Yeah, Into Park, same thing.
Nintu
yeah.
Park was done by volunteers.
Campbell, we used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
We'd go 'em at a field day, we went
Yep.
and worked on the fields.
Yep.
Make them ready to play.
Kids had senior day, they
Yeah.
put the sign in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it sounds like
Projects.
it sounds like there's no support in doing that, which is fine. I think
I don't know,
that,
as a-
we'll
as
carry
a-
that back, but.
As an athlete's parent, I would have said okay. But I do understand what Bob's saying is that I might not be the norm.
Right.
And
So
I
I mean,
always
I'll
spoke
deliver that
against,
back, and,
yeah, and the fees, I always spoke against them when I was on the budget committee, because it was my thought that it might make the difference in a kid playing or not playing.
And I always
Or
think
the
we
family
cover
couldn't
we
afford it,
cover
yeah.
the kid in
Yeah.
that situation, we always should.
Yeah.
And that means that we would have to have a little slush fund for that, maybe take it out of welfare.
so I guess on that note, is there any other thoughts around other areas that we can reduce the budget? Because again, the conversations like from a Scott Taylor and on that side of the table, and it was reduce hours and just, close the town hall down for a day. And my argument back was, well, when you do that, now you're impacting employees, because now you're impacting employees' benefits. We have full-time employees that would not be full-time anymore. That's not a path, I don't think, that's not a path that I, as one member, would not wanna do.
Right.
And I don't know if the board, I don't believe the board would either, right? Again, they're providing a level of service that is being appreciated, and I've never heard of any complaints. I hear want more, but we can't do more than we're already having, right? More hours and stuff like that. I mean, again, I was shut the recycling center down and only open on Saturdays. It doesn't save anything because we have the same amount of trash that'll be coming in. We gotta
Right, it's
maintain
just
it
coming
and
in all in one
process
day.
it. So
Yeah,
by making it all come in one day, it's just gonna create crowds and longer lines and harder to get through versus letting it stream in over the 4 days that we're open, right? And it's all part-time employees, which means you're not saving any on the benefits, so you're saving really nickels and dimes on the hours that we're working. So it's like, there's not a lot of knobs in the town that does not impact anything. Now, I will say, they all agreed that they do not wanna hurt public safety, so fire and police are off the table,
good.
right?
Oh, good, can you put that back?
No. Cause they want to support your cars, so,
We have cars we have to deal
we
with.
got cars we gotta deal with. So, I mean, that's why I suggested you guys watch the meeting, cause there was a
Yeah,
lot of
I watched
conversation
parts of
back and
it.
forth, and,
I was having trouble with it, it kept,
I mean, they have, now that we're on it, so my thing was, I said that if the board can get the budget under the tax cap and be able to find the funding to allow you to support the one major priority we have, which is the cruisers. Cause if we get no cruisers again this year, we're gonna be hurt in 2026. I asked, would you not touch the rest of the budget? I didn't get them to agree to that. But, my hope is they will see that we made a very concerted effort to reduce it. I don't think we can fix the default issue. The $150,000 that got removed is what really hurts us in a lot of ways, because it's no longer carrying the
it
default.
hurt us this year and it's gonna hurt us next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Cause then
Well,
we're 2.5%.
yeah, so I would rather, in some ways, go to the voters, get out to the voters and talk about why the budget's important, what's in the budget. It's not fluff. The default will next year potentially make us have to make some hard decisions. So. That's my thoughts.
I think the budget committee agreed that that's you folks. I mean, you've gotta get out there and talk to the,
Yeah.
you know,
So I used to do roundtables. I wonder if I could do a roundtable, but have it be of the selectmen, so that we could take questions, and have questions come in. We could have it run through WhatsApp. It was a really successful program.
If the five of you sit in the same room, it's a meeting.
Yeah.
Cannot have a.
Which you can consider this a round table.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
roundtable.
People
And
can
we
check
could-
in, they can check in anytime.
We could also host an AMA and just have people, we haven't done it in a while. I mean, we could, have never done it. We could do an AMA where they ask questions online and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and we just keep track of it. And
What if I sat with Kim, and what if I sat with each one of you about the boards that you're on and the budgets that are part of those boards? My budgets are like really tiny because of the boards that I do. But if I sat with Kim and
You
just
have
did
one
like a
other
fireside
selectman?
chat,
Yeah, if
Yeah,
it's
you can do
two
it.
selectmen,
Side
that
chat
would
with
work.
Kim.
That could happen, yeah.
do
Two
a,
selectmen
we can do a
was fine.
fireside chat with Dan. It's just something, I know that I've really stayed away from anything to do with any of it. I don't even look at WhatsApp anymore. But it's something that I was really good at, and that people have approached me that they miss it. They missed it when they went to vote, and they didn't see the roundtable of the candidates that were running, who they were and stuff. I can't do that as a selectman, but I can do this. I can sit with you, I can sit with Bob, I can sit with Kim, I can sit with you, John. I can sit with you guys and talk about what some of the questions are that we're hearing, and let people have questions right then and there, and have it broadcast on something people will watch.
We could do it as a regular meeting too, and just have us all sit here and have
You
that.
It might be
You
more
could have- You
effective.
could sit here and just do a round table of selectmen and have people call into the WebEx.
Or even-
ask their questions.
We could even take questions on, we can,
Yeah.
we go, if we go live
On
on
the phone?
we go live on Facebook, and we'll leave it on the town's page.
Yeah.
Go live on Facebook, we'll cross post, and we'll open it up for chat and questions, and you.
We could
someone
do
sit-
that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We have to be more creative. I think we
I
need to get
still
out.
wanna do a sit with each one.
Yeah, that,
I still want to do that, because
I
I
wouldn't
think
be
that
against doing
that
it.
makes it more personable. We can chat, we can go off on different tangents, depending on what gets called in.
Do both. Do more.
both.
Do
Do
Let's-
both.
three.
Do both.
four,
I think
do
we
more.
can-
Do all, do all, do both.
Yeah, all
But
of
as
them.
far as what the financial parts mean, that's Kim. And the less we can have other things going on at the same time, the better the chance we have of getting clear answers to questions.
so let's figure that out in another session. Let's
Okay.
I think we can do that. All right, so I think at this point,
That's
we've
all.
wrapped the rest of the proposal. There's no other reductions we wanna make. You don't have a new bottom line, do you?
No, I'll send it out tomorrow morning and I'll post it under the, on the town
meeting
webpage.
section?
Please go to the webpage.
At town meeting?
On the 2026 budget page, I
Okay.
will post it and I'll send it to the board. I'll send it to
Okay.
Matt.
Okay.
You can let the budget committee know.
All right,
Happy
so
happy.
let's see where we're at. All right, so we got through all
A
that.
lot of work. on
yeah,
the
this is a
budget.
lot of work,
That was
so-
really good.
Well,
You wanna open it for public comment?
Yeah, I'm going to. Now we moved on. No, this is our first public input. Unfortunately, we were at 6:45. We were deep into the topic, so I'll open the floor for public comment. Mr. Parker, you want to come forward?
gonna make you walk again, Dan.
Okay, the more I walk, the better.
Stay there, there's room for both of you.
You could have sat down.
We're gonna have you stretch.
Hope you don't have
Yoga.
a physical tomorrow.
Yoga,
How are you,
yoga.
sir? Name and,
Details.
Thank you.
address?
Mike Parker, 12 Nesmith Court.
Good
So
evening.
so I've formed these thoughts while listening to this half of the meeting here. And I just bring these up for consideration. I know it's not a fully formed idea about, $5 at the transfer station and whatever else, but that comes with a cost. Got to have stickers with an expiration date, administration, all those kinds of things come with it. And, I think the current fees are reasonable, because there are fees for certain things, and I think they're reasonable. When you open the door to $5, you give the mouse a cookie. It's 5, then it's 6, then it's, maybe 10 would work better, et cetera, and it'll grow over time.
Okay.
The other thing is there's unintended consequences. So I was at church this weekend, Saturday night, and a car came through the parking lot, made the circle and left out. And Father said, you know who that is? And I said, no. He said, that's somebody using our dumpster. And he said, the problem with that is when the dumpster gets overfull, we get charged more for the tipping fee.
Yep.
Now, I'm not that familiar with all the ins and outs of Litchfield, but again, you start charging, and people will they'll find place to dump things that we won't want them to dump, either in somebody's dumpster or out in the woods somewhere. So I ask you to take a look at the unintended consequences. Second thing, charging leagues usage fees for the facilities. I think that creates an increased expectation. Okay? Now, I'm not gonna pick stuff up because you know what? I'm paying for it to be picked up. I'm paying for it to be maintained, and I expect as a paying customer for that to happen. Now, I'm paying for it as a taxpayer, I know, but it's a little bit different when you start billing me with a usage fee, I think. I'm concerned about the state of the library, or the fate of the library, and I just kind of leave it at that right now. Okay, I think we need a library. I've not been there, I've not seen it, but every town worth its salt has a library. And it's not the libraries that are in the schools, it's the community library, and that's important. And the last thing, and you started to talk about this, but you know, how are we talking to the voters? Are they listening? Are they understanding? Now, there's some good ideas here. You know, fireside chat. I think, you know, I don't know how we want to open ourselves up and whatever else, but I think opening the chat on the Facebook would be great. Okay, or a Twitter channel, one or the other. But let people, during this meeting, last I looked, there were 60 people watching this meeting. Let those 60 chime in a little bit. Say these kind of comments that I just said right now, put them on the screen, and take a look. May or may not have to address them, but it lets people kind of get it out. You know, I sat through the budget meeting last week, but I was in Texas. So all I could do is talk to my screen. And I did a lot of talking to my screen. And then I got an email machine, okay? And I sent some emails out. So, anyway, those are my kind of my comments and observations and input for tonight. And as we go on, I look forward to number 2. There may be some more.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. So moving on, so next up is the IT director contract.
Do we have more for Dan, or
Excuse me?
do we have more for Dan?
Dan has, we were non-public at the end.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
all right, I was just thinking.
So,
Yeah, we should postpone that till we have a full board.
okay,
Okay.
so we'll push it off to, well, does the,
Someone make a motion to postpone?
so is there a motion to postpone?
I'll make a motion to postpone till the
Mr.
next
Leary.
meeting with a full board.
Mr. Leary, motion, second? Second by Ms. Queenan. All in favor, say aye. Abstain? Aye. So 301. Yeah, 301.
Yep.
So we'll push that off to the next meeting, so put that back in the folder. Bob, that's why I asked you earlier today, I just figured we could take it out altogether.
Yep. Well, no, you gotta let the board vote on that.
Yep, I agree.
Anything like that.
All right.
Right.
Next up is the 2025-2026 holiday schedule. Ms. Kleiner.
So all of the holidays on here are the same exact holidays that we have this current year. You'll notice that one, like, you know, the 4th of July, it's been common that we go the day before. So it would be the Friday,
The third.
the 3rd. But we've done it traditionally the same way that it's been done in the past, and it contains no new holidays.
I see the day after Thanksgiving, solid waste is open. Now, they get a comp day or something for that because they're working, or?
No, so they're hourly
Yeah.
workers,
Yep.
and
Oh, they don't get holidays?
right,
No.
so
That's right,
they don't
except for
get
like
holidays.
Dave and
Right,
full-timers.
and they will get,
They'll get a day, okay. All right, I just wanna make sure they're not getting shorted.
and this year,
Looks good.
Christmas
Do we need to
is on
approve it?
Friday.
Yep.
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the 25-26 holiday schedule as presented.
Motion made by Mr. Lay, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Plansky. Discussion or further discussion? None? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 400.
So now
Oh, I do have a question, I'm sorry. Just to explain something to me, I'm for the vote.
Yep.
November 27th, it says closed but open, what is that?
Oh, it's
Town hall's
Town
closed.
hall's, but the recycling center.
Oh, gotcha, okay, I want to make
They're
sure.
always open, not that.
Solid waste open, okay, thank you. I was confused, open and closed, all right, thanks.
And so, speaking with department heads, we have, a request. So, this year, Christmas is the 25th on a Thursday. And normally, the day after Christmas, is on Friday, and normally we would be open, until noon. The staff would like to use their earn time, so they would be using their earn time, no cost to the town, and close on December the 26th, and have enough time to fully promote it so that people know. Our thought is
That's Saturday.
No, it's Friday.
Friday
Friday.
Friday's the
the
26th.
of this year.
Yep.
Year.
Thursday's the 25th this year.
What-
Friday's the
what-
Oh, you're talking about this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know when we're talking about budgets, why earn time? Most organizations are closed the 26th anyway.
it's
Because
a
I
business
think it
day.
was a way that we all, so what started the conversation was staff coming to us and asking us to take it off as a vacation day. And we had a number of them. They were going to use their earned time anyways.
Yep.
So then we had a discussion with all of us and we said, what, would you still be amendable to taking your earned time? That way we're reducing the town's liability on earned time. And we asked the board if we can close, and they unanimously said yes. The others that said they would be happy to take it off. We don't wanna do it at an expense to the town, and people have the time available.
So it's
see
a
where
holiday,
the-
but it's not a paid holiday.
I see where
and-
Diane was confused, cause on the sheet with all the holidays, it says
Yeah, yeah.
Friday, December 25th.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
yeah, I'm
But
sorry, I'm
it should
in
be
the block.
26.
Yeah, you were going
Thursday's-
faster than me,
Yeah.
so, but I get it. So,
So they wanna use their earned time for Friday and be closed Friday.
Right, and we would advertise it
I don't
so
have a
that
problem with that.
no one believes that, we're open. So that's the first part. The second part is we have traditionally closed early on Christmas Eve. Could we still close at 2 o'clock on Christmas Eve? That's traditionally been when we as department heads and town staff get together. And we think, that's important for us, to have that time.
So you wanna close at noon?
no, two.
Two?
Two,
on
and then
the
they have
20
their
two on the
lunch
24th
thing and-
and
Yep.
completely on the 26th using our time.
Yeah.
So are you gonna do like a little party and stuff for you guys?
That's what
Yeah, we
usually do.
generally do it right
Yeah.
here. Sometimes we go out. I mean, it depends on,
Yeah.
what the group likes, what the group wants to do.
Okay.
Yeah, you've always done that.
Yes.
They've always done it since I've been here.
Team bonding, yes.
So I'll make a motion that we authorize the town hall to close at 2 PM on the 24th. And additionally, approve the use of earned time to close the town hall on Friday the 26th.
Let's just get that out there over and over and over again, so
Yeah.
people know.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by myself, seconded by Mr. Leary. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, motion carries 400.
All right,
And
next.
deliberative you have in there for count, I see deliberative note in here, but.
Yeah, so I put notes, for deliberative and, all right, so a little while ago, I had come to you and asked you if I could sit on a national committee. And in full disclosure, the board said to me, yes, as long as you are back for deliberative. And I said, it will not be a problem.
No, it is.
I mistakenly believed that deliberative was always in February. But it isn't. This year, the first week you can have deliberative is Saturday, January 31st. The second week you can have deliberative is February 7th.
So, which day are you not available for? Both?
The
31st.
31st. I'm back the first.
Do we have to actually have deliberative on a
So
Saturday?
what if the
Do it on the
school
weekend.
You do
board did
not-
the
That's a
30th?
great question, because many towns do not have it on Saturdays. They have
I
it
think we
at
should keep
night.
it on 30th, but we have done school board one week and town
Well,
the other week.
Yeah.
I know that John doesn't always like that as far as,
I don't really, as long as it's not in the gym, I don't care.
but then she's all set and she's in on the 7th and the 7th is our deliberative.
But we don't, are we going first this year?
Well, we've historically gone first.
We
because-
have gone first all the years I've been here, but that was because the school wanted to go the second week.
We used to alternate, and I remember specifically how it ended up not alternating was the former superintendent wanted to go second and wanted us to go first that first year. And then they just said the second year, well, we're gonna go on the latter date.
Yeah.
So we've always gone first.
So maybe we ask Kim to beg the school board.
Well, we can do it all in the same day. I'm not opposed to that. Then you're only killing one day.
Except they're gonna probably have a school, so it might be a longer
It's,
conversation.
yeah, it's gonna be a,
So we do ours in the
But
morning, they do
repair.
theirs in the afternoon?
Right. I mean, ours probably won't be that long. What was it last year?
Oh, an hour,
Not
An hour?
An hour,
maybe.
yeah.
I mean, if we do ours at 9 and they
Yep.
follow,
Yep.
we could both have the 7th.
Yep.
And I apologize.
Hmm?
I saw the dates come through and I was like, oh, I can't believe
I
I
wouldn't have
did
guessed
that.
that either.
So February
I always
7th?
thought it was
I
first.
always thought it was.
I always thought it was
February
First
too.
Saturday of
Always
February.
February, as far as I remember.
Oh, thank heavens.
I don't ever
Okay,
remember the
I'm not the
30th.
only, not the only one. But I do have to, the only reason I need to know is because I'm booking a flight in a hotel. Totally on my dime, I wanted to do this, but
Well, and
if
you're gonna have to bring us coffee.
from Long Beach?
No, on the 7th.
Oh, 7th, I will bring coffee.
oh, I like bagels too.
Okay.
Okay.
So what time is that gonna be? Do we have
I
an
like
idea?
sandwiches.
Bagel Alley is.
What time is this deliberative
Bagel Alley
start?
is really good.
Okay,
Haven't been
Bagel
there.
Alley. On the 7th?
Yeah, what time are we gonna start? On
What
the
time
7th?
do you want to
How about-
start?
What do we
They
usually do?
usually start at 10, right?
I
Yeah,
thought
But we
10.
could do 9. I mean, I
10's
don't
good.
know. 10's good.
10?
What's everybody want?
Like 10 better.
And you're out earlier. All right,
Yeah.
so deliberative, okay. Town side.
All right.
Thank you so much. February 10 a.m.
Could you make, just let the school know that we decided at 10 o'clock on the 7th?
Sure.
And then also the budget committee too?
But they have the option to go the 31st as well.
They could go the 31st if they like, yes.
I
Let's
think-
let them know that too.
They've
Yeah.
been short.
Let's be proactive and
It's only been a
cooperative.
couple hours the last few times.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. Now what?
That matters,
Thank
but
you so much.
Now what?
Any- Anything else on schedules?
That was it?
All right, so town administrator report.
You wanna do a second public
It's
input
after
first?
the selectmen's
Oh,
report.
okay.
10.
On October 6th, there was a statewide meeting, and I believe one of your representatives was there. It was in Raymond. It was about water.
Oh, yep. George
Um,
Lavash was there from
Okay.
conservation.
And so this is a conversation, the town manager, is also on the board with me of the municipal managers. And it's a conversation that they are really trying to get other towns involved. And they're looking for towns to host the next meeting so that we can keep these meetings going and I think it would be a great opportunity for us to host a session. But you'd probably want to do it in like a school auditorium. It certainly not. They had a good, really good outcome.
And would we have conservation run it?
And I would say the board, because their
Board
board
run
run
it?
it. Their
Okay.
board ran it.
Okay.
It was a board of selectmen. So I was just wondering if you wanted me to reach out to the town manager, and say, you know, what
What
months are
kind of time?
open, what would you, you know, Litchfield
Yeah.
would be amendable to hosting a month. I think we think it's an important conversation. I mean, many of the, you know, aquifers underneath these towns are drying up, and people, there's one really deep well in Wyndham, totally dry. I mean, this is a problem. We are running out of water
Mount
in southern
Vernon,
New
nothing.
Hampshire.
Same in Mount Vernon, they can't find water to build a new home.
Yeah. And one of the, you know, DES was there, they were on site, that was really good. But one of the things that Raymond was saying is as the legislature creates these changes in zoning, saying, oh, these towns have to allow affordable housing or have to allow this many developments, what they're not looking at is how that's impacting the town's water. The towns know best what the town can support. So we need to
Look at
figure
us
out.
singing the same song. Yeah, I've been saying that when it came down to it, as far as all the infrastructure things that they're not looking at. The
Yeah.
Yeah, they
impact is-
between water, power, just,
For some, it's sewer.
Yeah.
For some, they don't have more sewer capacity.
and just
We don't have
access
any,
other
but-
resources too. I mean, there's other resources we get a burden on too.
Yeah,
Everything
Yeah.
from welfare all the way up that impacts us as
infrastructure
people
is
move
just
into
not
this town.
prepared for the changes they made.
Yeah, so I think it's a important conversation to keep going, and being a part of it is good. Okay, so I will reach out to him. I'm at the national conference October 24th through the 29th. So that's Friday through Wednesday. There is a board meeting October 27th. And Karen will sit in for me.
Mhm.
So if you have items for that meeting, we just wanted to be able to prepare, so that Karen and I could sit down and talk about them and make sure we're on the same page. One item we don't have is the volunteer policy. She's asked to come to the first meeting in November
Okay.
because that fits in with her school schedule.
Can we get that policy like a
It's-
couple weeks before?
It's there already.
Is it there?
Yeah,
I
it's in
think I
the,
read
it's in the
it.
It's in
policy
the-
page.
I think I read it, but then I sent you some feedback on, some of it had remained the same and we were gonna bring it up to the board.
Yes, so I think there was
That in
one
November?
section, yeah, there was one section she did change and one section
She
she
didn't.
thought that the board should,
On
you
the-
should all weigh
yep.
in, yeah.
Okay, yep, all right.
It's in that policy,
I did, I
Yeah.
responded to it, I just didn't know if more changes had been made.
So we're kind of not sure about so we're not sure about that October 27th meeting, and what you want on that agenda. So Karen and I will kind of put our heads together and see,
Well, if it's a full board, we'll have to bring this back. I'll work
Yeah.
with Karen on the agenda like I do with you and anybody else, and I'll help her with the portal. She needs help with that, otherwise I'll let her do
yeah.
that, but.
The only one that we were suggesting we don't bring forward is the personnel, because we think, both of us
Yep.
should attend that meeting.
Yep.
So that is all I have, yeah,
Okay,
that's it, quiet.
thank you. Selectmen reports. We'll start Recreation Commission. Mr. Leary.
We meet tomorrow night. Had a couple of people that came in about possibly using some, town-owned property for, RC airplanes. It was pretty cool. And they were gonna check in with one of the land leasers, and then if it worked out there, they were gonna come before us, because the town owns the properties. And and are responsible for them. We just lease them out to the farmers. Came to the rec commission last time, and then, that's
Do
about
you,
it.
do you want me to correct that error or no? So they came to you for the land that's at the river access, right?
They they originally asked for that, and we had a
That's,
lot of
that's owned by
questions.
conservation, not rec.
That was owned by rec.
No, it's conservation land.
It's on the rec
It's,
property.
It's a rec property.
it was purchased by conservation. That was like a big purchase that was made by conservation.
I've always.
And the
I
land
was
next to
always-
it behind Kevin's house, that's an addition on it, and that's
Well, I always think it
conservation
was
as well.
rec. Cause that was, John Bryant was the one who put the river
Yeah.
access in.
Yeah,
Well,
And-
we
well, he was-
named it after John because he passed away.
No, I understand that, but he
He
was
was
also.
part of, he
yeah.
was on, but so was conservation.
I always thought it was rec.
I always
right?
thought
No,
it was
it's
rec, too.
conservation
Well,
and we have.
Well, we have the deed somewhere, we know.
Because
we
it's
know the deed
agriculture,
was where-
it's
but
agriculture
it's
that's
in
on that
the-
land.
It's in the rec proposal.
Yeah, they think it belongs to them. I think you need to look further.
Well, can we just?
Conservation
Okay,
bought
we'll
that
clarify.
I
land.
don't know who
Yeah,
bought it
Like
and what it was bought with.
$550,000. It caused a big problem. They thought they overpaid for it. And that's why conservation has to come before the board for every purchase now. But it used to be that conservation was able to make their own decisions.
But
To
statute
spend-
doesn't allow them to.
Statute doesn't allow.
I don't know,
State
maybe
law
they
doesn't.
just brought it in after. I don't know. That's the story I heard as being on the
Oh,
conservation for
okay.
years.
Yeah,
But I
would go back
do
and
know,
check the
I
deed.
do know that they thought that conservation overspent
I
for
want to
that
find out,
piece
'cause
of.
all the years that I've known about it, as it was being developed, was always referenced as a recreation facility.
Nope, it's agriculture. And when we went to do the, river access, it was conservation, because I was on the river access committee. It was conservation that we had to appear before to get permission to do it, because it's conservation property. So that's an error,
Okay.
Okay.
just so you know.
That's all I got.
Okay. Oh, and highway will be there tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, for the proposal,
And
yeah.
for the proposal.
Yep.
And he also has an update on the porta potty pads.
That's about.
Porta potty pads.
Porta potty pad.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Plansky?
Oh, okay. I missed the conservation meeting because I was in Florida.
How dare you.
And they said that they didn't need anybody, so nobody from here had to show up. However, they did do their regular business, and they've got a sign up over at DeRocha, with a beautiful sign. And part of the intern that came in for them, there are QR codes on those signs that are going up. They've also worked on Dara Pond with rec. Judy and George went down and were raking more of that milfoil out of the lake, out of the pond rather. So that's working. And then as far as the Heritage Commission, that meeting is gonna be Thursday. And there is a big push by them to get people to attend because they didn't. It's gonna be at the fire station, as opposed to here, so that they are able to hopefully have more people. And I do want to take an opportunity to talk to our volunteers that are out there and beg them for their support. We have a fall harvest event that happens every year that has had to be canceled this year because we didn't have enough volunteers for it. And I would hate to see the same thing happen to the December Christmas event that we do every year at Dara as well. I'd hate to see that canceled because of lack of volunteers. It's really important in a town this size to get people out there and participating, and we appreciate every single one of you, and we need every single one of you. And the same thing for the 250th. If you can show up on Thursday, the Heritage Commission would really appreciate it. They need you, or there won't be a 250th. So that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, just to interject, so on May 14th, 2018, the board, there was an MOU that was created and dissolved the responsibility from the conservation and moved the responsibility for managing that land to recreation. It was an MOU that was done back in 2018. So they are financially responsible and maintainers of that property. Now,
That doesn't make sense to me where it's agriculture.
I'm stating the
I
facts.
I never knew that.
You're
So I
talking
would-
about just the river access.
It's river
right?
access, yeah.
So, small piece of it.
Well, no, I think they took care of,
John
they said they had all the whole acreage, they said they wanted no financial. Matter of fact, Jason, looks like Jason was part of that conversation.
We were looking for help from recreation to do the, I believe it was only supposed to be the river access.
Yeah, it says the Troy, this is Troy, so there's an MOU in there somewhere.
Okay.
There was some conversation around whether it was actually legal or not. The board voted 4-0-0 to agree with it.
I think it was only supposed to be the rec part of it,
It
even though
says,
conservation.
we'll take the, all parties involved, river access, Troy River Access was dissolved. Rec Commission will take over the management and financial responsibility of the facility. The Conservation Commission who owns the land is aware of this, and they're giving up their rights of the management of this small parcel. Parcel, there you go. That's
Part
the
of it.
part. It's a small parcel.
Part of it, yeah.
So
The
they
rest
own-
of it's,
they
the
own the
agriculture's
border.
still us, because we're
Gotcha.
still managing
So
all
there,
of
there's the
that.
clarity then, so now we know that.
Yep,
so.
okay, good, all right.
So they don't have any
You
rights to
scared me
that
for a minute there.
partial piece.
Yes.
Just
ju-
when I think I
just
know
the river
everything, you
access.
guys were
Which-
gonna just wreck my little bubble.
Which
This is,
is that the one that's leased?
the lease is not Rex.
The lease is conservation.
The lease is not Rex. The
It's
lease is the
town.
town.
Well, it's conservation.
Town.
It should be conservation. And I wanna call it.
Conservation can't lease. So, I mean, you
We
can't.
need to talk about it.
So this
We can.
property, all property is owned by the town.
Exactly, let's.
You're
All
ma-
property,
you're
let's
managing
just put that out there, 'cause I don't
Right,
want that to
exactly.
be a
Yeah, we don't-
misnomer here.
We
Right,
don't,
right.
The
I
town
agree.
owns all property.
Yeah.
Right,
It's managed by different
groups.
groups.
And for the
Right.
most part, we work together with RAC, like with Parker Park. Those mostly conservation people that did all of the work to put those new bridges in and to clear all those paths and to make those trails down from the community garden. That was all conservation people.
Right.
Rec people did work with them on different things, but the conservation led the charge on that. The other properties, other things, other projects, rec has had the lead and conservation's come in behind them and helped. I mean, we work really well together, those two boards.
But it is state statute that in order for COMCOM to lease a property, it has to come in front of the board.
Okay,
It's
so
ultimately
that
this
did happen
governing,
when we
yeah.
bought the property.
Yeah, and it does
It's
every
in
year.
it's in there that we have agriculture on that land.
Yeah,
That's in there and that lease is on there and it is conservation land. So
I think we clarified that,
I
yeah.
think we need to sit and talk because we're gonna have more money that when the DeRocha farm starts up more so, there may be more costs associated with. I'm trying to minimize those on with a different angle. But there may be some more costs associated with DeRocha that we may want both of those properties, leases, to come in so that we can use that money to manage those properties. Because we're managing the property, but not getting the money to manage it. So that's a conversation for another night or another day.
I would-
that's actually a legal question,
Anyway.
because I don't think you can divert
Well,
revenue.
when rec leases the fields, they can put that into their revolving
That's the
account.
that's in the commission bylaws, it does that, or whatever their RSA. was.
Yeah, the RSA says that.
We can talk
So-
about it.
Yeah, let's figure it out, right? But
Yeah,
I
we'll
think,
figure it out, but,
I think we should find the MOU though, let's just make sure that's
Mm-hmm.
clean, and then, yes, we now agree that based on what I'm reading in the minutes,
Yep.
that it was a lieu of the agricultural
Which is
piece.
why I was so like, oh no, that's conservation land, because
Yeah,
I know
think-
conservation
I think we all
wants
take it as
that
all part
money.
of John River access, and it's like one
It's
plot of
not,
land.
yeah, and it's very important to,
Well, actually,
question we
bottom line, the
separate.
town owns it. The town, the bottom line is the town owns it.
absolutely.
So-
The important question though would be, if you think that's gonna be soon, I just wanna find out, because I have a feeling that if it was leasing property, in order for that revenue to go into your land fund, I think is a warrant article. So we
That
might
might
wanna
be-
find that
that
out
might be.
now.
I
That
believe
might
is the
be, I
case.
will. So let's sit down this week.
Okay.
It's Monday. We'll do one day this week that you're not
Sure.
too busy. I'm around. Just let me know when you have some free time.
Would you, Just as a side note, would you, that warrant article be structured where the money goes into a revolving fund or a trust for the DeRosa property maintenance, not for anything else? It wouldn't go into
Yeah,
the
you
overall
can do
fund.
that, into a revolving fund.
And we might
Probably
wanna move
better.
all of our money into a
Even better.
revolving fund too then, so that it, cause we're using some of those funds for repairs on equipment and everything else.
Well, you can, you just have to come to the board and ask for permission to
Yeah,
expand.
yeah, but I'm gonna wanna sit with Kim and financially
Yeah.
say, what's the best way,
I gotcha.
you know?
Probably a revolving fund, because that
Yeah.
land fund,
There was things that happened that were just not all thought all the way through, and
Yeah.
now they're coming up, and it's like, well, why don't we have that money to manage this land, and now you're going to the town for money, you know, and it's a small amount, it's $2,000, you know, it's not like we're looking for $20,000 worth of revenue, small money.
Okay,
but
But-
it's a good conversation to get it all cleaned up.
yeah.
Exactly, perfect.
All right, Ms. Queenan,
All right.
take us home and then I only have one update.
I don't think it's a big report this week. Capital Improvement Plan Committee is the largest one. We met, and there were 4 questions they wanted to follow up on. It sounds like they were already done. The library, we're gonna leave that for the department head to leave it on the capital improvement plan the way it is, based on conversations the town administrator had. Highway Department, we wanted to bring back in to see where they were on their potential prefab building that they wanted to put out back there. Kim, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's been no update on that, right? They're still waiting about the prefab building?
Right, no.
Okay, so, fine. Recreation you spoke with, and they're okay, so we didn't think we had to call them back in. The police, we had the 6 cars, that's gonna be a conversation tonight, so we'll wait to hear from you on that. That was the only thing that came in on the SIP. They are coming in front of the Board of Selectmen on November 24th. That's, you know, how we bring in one group every week. Economic Development Committee, we had our meeting, edits were made, everybody participated. They are due at our next meeting on October 29th. We will get them out before then. We were supposed to work on it Friday, but then the budget obviously took a priority, so I will work with Kim. I'll call you tomorrow, we'll set up a date on when we can finish those edits. NRPC, our next full commissioner meeting will be November 19th, 30 Temple Street in Nashua. The PFAS committee is the final one. I attempted to enter that meeting for over an hour. It's very tough to get into these meetings. There's security to even get in before you can be on the board. We got through all of that. Every month I get in 20 minutes late because they never send me the link, even though I, keep harping. After I waited an hour, I said, I'm done. So either they want me there or not. And it's not me personally, I just think it's mismanaged. But the report is due to the state in November. I know they always need a quorum, so you would think they would want people to join. So I could not attend because I couldn't be let in. So if I do attend the next one, it's scheduled for November 14th. I will make sure to ask again to get into that. That's all I have.
Okay. And all I have is, FIC's tomorrow night. We've been talking about budget all night, so I really don't have any updates you haven't already heard. Next budget meeting is on Thursday at 7:00. And that is it for those updates. I will open the floor for one more second opportunity for public input. Nothing, Mike, you sure? All right, I'll close.
On the FIC, have they come up with their plan yet for Griffin, what they think
I
they're
think we'll
gonna
hear
do?
it tomorrow night,
We'll hear it
yeah.
tomorrow.
I know they're meeting with the contractors, the clerk all works, what they call the new term they're using, so they've been having the meetings.
They had a public meeting.
Yeah, they had last week at GMS.
Yeah.
They probably got a lot of good feedback there. I guess it really wasn't a public meeting, it was more of a talk to. I heard public couldn't ask questions.
Oh, they couldn't?
Yeah.
No, I
I
heard
didn't,
that.
I wasn't here, so I didn't
Yeah.
attend, but anyway, yeah, I'll hear more tomorrow night, hopefully. That's it, so, second floor, no public input anymore? I'll close public input at, 8:49. Open and closed. And then, we have one more item on our agenda tonight, which is a non-public. Get the words here. Gonna make a motion that we go into non-public for RSA 91A:3, Roman numeral 2, Section A, the dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee, or the discipline of such employee, or the investigation of any charges against him or her, unless the employee affected, 1, has a right to a public meeting, or 2, requests that the public meeting be open, and in which case the request shall be granted. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're going into non-public, 4:00 at 8:50. We'll come out of non-public just to adjourn our meeting, so everybody in Litchfield have a good evening. Enjoy, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Thank you for coming.